Hey guys, this is Dardamus with Dardamus Dominions, and I'm here with Gaslov and RCK. Gaslov, how are you doing?
Pretty good, yourself?
I'm doing good. RCK, how are you doing, dude?
I'm doing good today.
Now, RCK, you've been watching these omniscience, these omniscience turns. This is our first round. How is it? How's it going? Is it wild at all?
Oh, it's pretty interesting. I've been enjoying watching it so far. There's been a couple of surprising things.
I'm really excited that we get our own province and it doesn't look all ghetto like it usually does. This is gonna be really cool. I don't even know why I looked at this turn. Have you been like naming anything like that?
What do you mean?
Like naming our monoliths.
No, I haven't named them anything yet, but I will though.
Okay. Wait, we've already got messages. What's up with this? Okay, Victorlin. Geslov, can you read me this?
Oh, I cannot see your screen.
Oh, wait, that's right. Okay, then I will do that. I will read as I get things going. Okay, it says, once more into the breach, TLDR, Grippa here again, time to learn my nation. I should have picked Scaleria. I've never even looked at Mictlan, but literally every nation I wanted to pick was picked since I picked last. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah, Grippa, I think, underestimates his ability a little bit. He kind of plays it down a little bit. He's always down on himself and down on the game and down on his luck. It's like, I don't know, Grippa, come on, you got this, you can do it.
I think he does that to like have people underestimate him, so that way he can do better that way. What do you think about the Scaleria, RCK? I think you and I were talking about this in PMs that Scaleria was opening, you didn't pick it.
Yeah, I was really surprised nobody picked it, but at the same time, we did have some really good picks in this game. I also feel like it is a rush target in most games, though, especially with the people in this game being busy. I feel like they'd rush them down. There's also a lot of Fire Nations being the boss, so they'd have a pretty good chance at taking out their chaff pretty easily. I feel like it would have been a tough one for Scaleria, definitely. Also having Relay in with the Mind Blast, so maybe it was a good choice that no one picked Scaleria in this one, because I do think they would have been rushed really fast.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the nation, because I know that he did play, there was some DE nation that he and I played together that's very similar to Mictlan, so he should have the basic idea down pat. Relay says scales expansion. Is there anything wrong with this, Gaslov? Does this seem about par for the course?
I really don't know what to do with Relay. Like I've said before, I've only ever witnessed Relay just kind of mess around in his pond and never do anything. So I am kind of excited to see maybe a competent player with Relay. Let's see what they do with them.
I'm hoping we get to see an Utter Vast, because those things are awesome. Have you guys ever seen an Utter Vast being like somebody take the Utter Vast Pretender?
Yeah, I have.
Did it work out for him?
No. It didn't. They just sat around. Like, I don't know.
That's nuts. I once got an Utter Vast as a random event, and that thing was fun. You could just put it. It goes anywhere. You push a button, and every flag on the map pretty much just lights up. Okay, so we have Lazarus from Aramor, Prophet from the Tribal King. Wait, what? Okay, and then it keeps coming back. Peros, which means that he did not. Oh man, he committed one of the sins and did not name his prophet. God, darn. You want memes? I'll show you memes. We RCK, we get the memes from him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, looks like we have another person who did not name. Oh no, Fugly Squid Guy. Awesome. We are good to go, and we now have a map. I want to look specifically at the thrones first. Gaslov, any of these thrones look super good that they should be aiming for?
1 second.
RCK, do you wanna tell me what? Because I'm gonna go to you next, so you get to go first. Any of these thrones look awesome to you?
Yeah, there's a couple of them, and it also depends on who you're playing as. Like the Throne of the Sun, I can feel like Novelle's definitely going to want that one since it gives him growth, heat, and order. So that's already 3 negative scales off his plate, on top of giving him 3 gems a turn and fire resistance. And you
When
know those lictors are just going to be nasty.
when it comes to Aramor, I know that you don't want growth as Therados because it slows up your rate. Does it work the same way with Aramor?
A little bit, but it's mostly based on Dominion, I believe, and also Death. But I think it's mostly Dominion. But if you can cut back 3 scales and pull back I forget on how much percent of income that cuts you every turn, it's going to be very helpful because even at the end of the game, you're still going to be wanting more gold than more chaff. Because I mean, the real units he's going after here are going to be lictors, not soulless.
I just had his interview yesterday. It was a really good one. He's going with a quickness. He's going to the quickness plus this time.
I did notice that when I was watching the battles. I thought it was pretty interesting because knowing Novell, he always went drain mostly, or as far as I've ever seen. So this is going to be interesting.
He thought that it was this one because this one has the Solar Serpent, and so he's going to get over here. He's going to take out the Solar Serpent, and he's going to find out it's the Throne of Air.
On the bright side, though, having air shield for lictors isn't that bad because they don't have helmets.
Oh wow, yeah. And okay, sorry, I just lost my thought.
Yeah, that's going to be heartbreaking, honestly. Because yeah, if he thinks that is the Throne of Sun, and he clears it and he takes all the losses from that mess to find out it's the Air Throne, he's going to be pissed.
That's what I was going to ask. How hard is this to clear as Airmore?
Oh, it's going to wreck his stuff, man.
I think it depends on if you have fire resistance on your bless or not.
He does.
Okay, well, I know the Lictor's Great Axe. I know they're going to pretty much chop through everything, but it really depends on how much fire resistance you have and what the Solar Serpent casts during his scripting. Because I believe that's like a pretender type thing.
Now, what's that say? Go ahead, Gaslov.
The Will of the Wisp. Are they flying?
I don't remember. I'll have to look. Let me look that up.
I don't think they do.
One thing he does that's kind of a big mistake is he leaves his big bishop in the back sometimes.
Yeah, I do see that. Yeah,
can get him killed.
All right, I looked it up on Mod Inspector. Will-O-Wisps that says they're floating. It doesn't say flying.
Okay, then he'll be okay.
Okay, so now let's look at one of the other thrones. Gaslov, what are the other thrones that look shiny to you other than the Throne of the Sun?
Well, once again, because you know what I play. I really like Astral thrones. So let's see, is the Silver Throne the one with the Astral guy? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Because he can communion. He's good enough to do things like mind hunts. You can eventually get him mind hunting. He can random air 3, and so he's a great air elemental caster. You can communion with him and cast big air spells.
I'm really excited, yeah, because like these random paths are really cool because I can see a use for almost every single one of them.
Yeah, they are great, and then the throne itself, I think, gives you gold. So and he's a great researcher. So it's a very good throne to have, and if you know where it's at, it's a high priority.
RCK, any others that you see that are awesome?
What is the Crystal Throne? Check over that one.
That guy right there.
So you're gonna have another decent Astral Mage, be able to do Earth stuff. Now, I thought it gave you. I think I'm thinking of there's another one. It's a fire. an Astral Mage. It's the Golden Throne. That's the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of the wrong one.
Yeah, that one's really good.
The Inner Throne, that gives Blood Slaves, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Now, Miklin's going to be wanting that one for sure.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of other thrones. You got the gnomes, which could maybe break guys into earth and nature, but that doesn't seem
Yeah, I don't like them that much. Though the Throne of Fortune's very good as just a general, like that helps just about every nation.
True.
One of the things that I like about these gnomes that I saw somebody do is they put a what's the assassin's heart, the black heart? And then they put him on here or on this guy because he's already got stealth already into the kit, and then they just use them as charm bots.
I didn't know he had glamour too. That's interesting.
So it's kind of a cool little way that you can, if you've got the blood economy rolling already. I mean, how hard is it to get a black heart going and then just send these guys out and just use them as like kind of semi seducers?
Well, what is charm? Is that Thaumaturg 6 or 7?
It's definitely down the way, but by then you probably, once you get the gnomes, it's actually a possibility. Just, like I said, it's more of a niche thing than an actual strat.
Yeah, would you mind? Let's look at charm.
Charm is... Oh, I think it's alteration. Did I miss it?
It might be disabled from the...
I bet it is. I bet you're right.
It could be for us.
I'm pretty sure that it's Thaumaturgy 6 or 7.
Here, I'll look it up.
Where's the Frog Prince is 7. Okay, that's why they don't want you charming anybody and then getting loose from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Thom 7 because Curse of the Frog Prince is in there.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, Thom 7's kind of out of the way for a lot of nations. I know, like the Elven nations don't tend to use Thaumaturg for hardly anything. You would go up to 5 just for Soul Slay, so that you can mine hunt people if you can find an Astral Mage.
I guess that leads me to my next question then, Gaslov. How late do you think that this game's going to go?
It's a 9-player game, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably turn 60, this game's over.
Okay. RCK, do you think that's going to change at all because there's an Airmore in the game? Will it make the game faster or slower?
If anything down the road, especially if he lives past the first 2 years, I see a large coalition against him eventually. But other than that, I think it's going to still have about the same pace for the game.
Now, one of the interesting things is that one of his thrones is underwater, and that seems to be Relay's territory. So if he wants to get a second, like if he wants to get the 5 thrones that he needs to win, it's 5, right?
Oh, which one is in Relay's territory?
This one is the Throne of Fortune.
Okay.
Which he's already... It's funny because most people don't go, luck 3, but because he's going full scales.
Yeah,
it's probably not going to be the greatest for him. I'm just wondering where the... Oh, here it is. Throne of the Sun's on the other side.
Yeah, in fact, he doesn't want to claim that throne because it increases the luck of everybody. It creates this event that gives everybody luck.
Oh, God. Okay, so he also has the Throne of the Sun nearby. Do you think we'll be seeing... he's got the Titan of the Heaven, Griffins, and this is within range of Abyssia, Pan, Satis, and Relay. Do you think any of them are going to be able to claim this early?
I doubt it's going to be early. I feel like it's going to be around turn 20, 30-ish, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be early, and I think it's actually going to be Relay who claims it. And the reason I think that is because he's going to be able to just kind of sit back and not have to worry about, the losses from getting the throne and someone taking advantage of that. Whereas Abyssia and Pangea especially are going to be busy. Satis, there's a possibility, but I just don't know what he's going to end up doing.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the clashes are going, and it makes me so interested that I think we're going to push into turn 3 from here. Gotcha. Wait, what? I've got...
Oh, there was not a blind expand, was there?
There was not. I'm very proud of them.
Oh, conservative players.
Have you ever blind expanded in any of your games, Gaslov?
I have. Oh, yeah.
Have you? Really? Now, what was the blind expand? What did you use in order to achieve this?
Just, you're starting army. And some, I was playing around with different expansion strategies. You can get lucky and get certain pop types that occupy certain types of provinces, and yeah, it was like a militia province, heavy infantry or something like that.
Everything that a militia can spawn in can also spawn in elephants, though, right?
Yeah, you can get unlucky.
Okay, so you rolled those dice.
Yeah, I used to.
Okay. Now, what's interesting is that we've got a couple of fights here where they've got a double expand from the beginning. We got a message from Asphodel. Oh my. Okay, if you want to read this, go ahead and you can pause it. And I think that we're just going to move on from here and just see what he does.
I believe what that message really consists of was what his early research targets were, since he did take an awake expander.
Okay.
Yeah, he may have actually said some interesting stuff in that message.
Okay, well, I'll go back. Well, if you guys want to skim it real quick.
Yeah, so, here he's talking about his bull, his pretender, right? And what is he saying here about this? There's a big difference between killing a 29 protection bull and killing a 31 protection bull that is fatigue positive. Latter can still be killed, but likely for our opponents to get Tech 5 research manage it. So, does anyone understand what he's talking about here? Like,
what he's trying to say is that he wants to go and get, Earth Power, he wants to get Temper Flesh, he wants to get Iron Skin, and all of these different things so that his bull is not killable. And then Regeneration as well.
I see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's completely right.
And what he's trying to do is he's trying to make sure there's not a coalition against him, but I'm going to be honest, I mean, why would you ever coalition against Asphodel?
You wouldn't. You really wouldn't.
Like,
that's kind of a ridiculous fear of his. Unless you're playing with really bad players, then anything is possible. But I don't think these are bad players.
Yeah, the other option is that he's just worried that he's going to get dogpiled because it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. And when you're in those woods, it feels like you're a little bit more... I mean, do you think that you're more cautious looking at a game or being in the game? I would assume in the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, you really have to look at your geography and see what makes sense. You got to know who his neighbors are, who's most likely to be a coalition, and maybe we can take a look and see where he's at again. Just kind of see if his fears really make sense.
I think his fear, or I think that he wanted. Wait, did I miss an expand last turn? Because this is
no, he double expanded this turn.
But he's got a province here.
Yeah, but what's that?
Maybe he did.
Okay, hold on just a second. This is turn 3. Let's go see if he actually did. Not that one.
He must have then.
Yeah, so.
Must not noticed it.
Maybe did I skip turn 2? I might have skipped turn 2. No,
you did. I think. No.
There's turn 2, and did we just not see it?
Wait, how is that possible?
Oh, because we did it.
Maybe because the scouts don't recognize it yet, because it takes a turn for our scouts to see everything. Because in the very first turn, I can't see any of the provinces, any of the indie types. That's the only way I can think that happened.
Our scouts don't come here until the end of the first turn. You are correct.
Yeah.
Or I'm saying the end of the second turn. So yeah. Shame.
So look around and see if anybody else did.
Let's actually, can we see anybody else? I'm not seeing anybody.
Abizia.
Oh, they did too. Oh, that's a shame. Oh man, that ruins everything. Time to restart. Get the mod maker to work on that. Okay, and that was, we're on road 3. I need to organize my save files again.
That's interesting. I didn't know that though. I didn't know it didn't show us on the second turn.
Okay, so to answer your questions, I know that he's worried about Pan because, and that's a legitimate. I mean, that's 6 nature gems that Pan could get by doing a quick rush.
So that's all he's got to worry about.
Yeah.
So let's see, who's Abyssia going to be tied up with?
Abyssia. Now this is kind of the interesting thing. He's going over and he's kind of pushing towards Abyssia.
Yeah, dude, this is really bad for him. He's in a lot of trouble.
I don't see what he can do against Abyssia. He has no hard-hitting troops that can kill Abyssia's troops.
Well, okay, so first of all, by reading his message, he's kind of afraid. He's kind of afraid of being coalition with, so he's going to play a little defensive. He's not going to rush Abyssia because he's afraid that if he gets in a war, someone else is going to attack him, right? So, and Abyssia is not going to like that.
And that, I mean, maybe it's a message that he's sending to Abyssia: stay out.
Well, he couldn't know that Abyssia is there, right?
Everybody knows where everybody else started. So,
okay, well, I think that was a bad move.
You want this one?
Yeah, I don't think he should have done that.
Why is that?
Because I think it's going to provoke Abyssia, and I think he's right about Pangea. Pangea wants to take his land.
Do you think that there might not be a coalition, like a formal coalition, but an accidental coalition where both of them attack at the same time?
That's right. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. That's fair enough. And then the other thing is, I mean, it's not a lot, but there is a death gem, and as much as Novell likes his death gems, that might just be enough.
Let's see. Who's around Novell?
Everybody is actually near everybody else, although you have 4 that are catty corner from each other, a kitty corner.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of weird what happens here in the south, because they are kind of far from Ermor, and no one really wants to fight Ermor, right? And so everyone's gonna feel like Ermor is far enough away from them that it's not their problem.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I can see that as a problem too. Yeah. What's funny is that I talked to him and he was upset because there's so many wastelands and forests and marshes and things that make it difficult to get to Ermor. And what's interesting is that it might actually work for him, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. He's even less desirable a target as he ever would be, because he's just in this corner of the world that nobody really needs to go through for anything, and there's nothing to gain from trying to kill him. I think he's in a great spot, honestly. Like, that is a great Ermor position.
I think you're right, and it's going to be interesting to see if there are any coalitions that are formed against him and if they're able to do so quickly enough. But let's look at the expansions themselves. We have Eagle Warriors. Now, this was a choice by him. Is that correct, RCK?
Yes, it was. Another thing, the little rewind here for a second. Yeah. I believe when we were doing the overview for Asphodel, the Mountain Team, I think this was the episode we started with him or something. I can't remember exactly. Or that one that he gave us when we went over.
Yeah, we just did the interview the other day. Yeah, you're right.
But he actually spoke to us and said as soon as him and Abyssia were beside each other, they got nap 3. I can't remember if it was Zan that reached out to him or Mountain that reached out to Zan. But I do remember that as soon as they saw each other, they instantly got a nap 3, which is surprising.
Okay, I'm hoping he sends a message when that does. Oh, no, when it does happen. Okay, so RCK, you talked about how you were playing. I think when we did the interview with Grippa, that you were saying that the Eagles are a little bit more risky in the expand. Is that correct?
Yeah, the only reason for that is because the Eagles are just so much more fragile than the Jaguar Warriors are.
Now, I wanted to talk about this. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going, dude.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I wanted to ask you guys about this because I didn't want to do it with Grippa, because kind of a little critical. Bark Skin against Abyssia. How are you feeling about that?
So it's going to be rough. But he does have fire resistance plus 10, so it will be a positive fire resistance plus 5, but still.
Gaslov, when you're going in on a nation and making a nation, do you make sure you have an answer for every single nation?
No, I don't. I mostly play this, general strategy. Now, I don't like bark skin on low protection troops like these Eagle Warriors because it just doesn't matter. I mean, so he goes from 7 to 15. They really are still going to die in a couple hits.
It's funny you say that because I don't see it happening. Or like I normally would not agree with you, but then it kind of does. Well, I mean, here it works out well, but what's funny is when we were watching him doing his expand, you were right. I mean, they did seem to die quickly. Why is that? I mean, 7 or 15 seems like quite a bit.
Well,
a lot of attacks are like 20 damage.
Yeah.
Can you say it again, Gaslov?
A lot of attacks are for like 20 damage.
Okay.
If you take a look at some of these units, just in this particular battle, even you guys have their spear attacks. Okay, for 13, but you lose 20% of your protection.
That's true.
So that's actually kind of neutral. So I mean, I guess it helps against light infantry.
Well, I mean, neutral is not good.
Look at like if you're fighting Abyssia, for example, you can see how much those guys hit for.
Yeah,
25 damage. I mean, they hit you. That's still 10 damage on a 12 hit point unit. Oh, but then it gets increased by 25%, right? So you get hit on average. One of these guys hits your Eagle Warriors, they die.
Now, are you saying that he should have went with a different kind of protection, or do you think he should have went with an attack plus?
He should have gone with defense, not protection.
Okay, so you're saying that he should have went with
honestly, no, he shouldn't even gone for defense because the advantage of these guys is that they're super cheap, they're super spammable. So you want them to be kind of glass cannons because they're going to win you the attrition war.
That's very true.
If you're going to go with the Eagle Warriors, which is good, in RCK, you said in MA you get a lot of Eagle Warriors instead of the Jaguars, right?
Yeah, because the Eagle Warriors are the recruit anywhere. And since they're 15 gold and 3 resources apiece, I forget how many recruitment points, but I know it's very low. You can pretty much take a high Dominion and be pumping out like 8 to 10 of these guys out of every castle every turn, if you have enough money for it, of course.
Like, this screams to me, get yourself a Quickness Bless. I mean, like, a Quickness Bless is a
Quickness is good on these guys. I see the most common blesses I see on these guys tend to be either Blood Vengeance or...
That's true, too.
Or just lots of strength. A whole lot of strength. And attack.
Strength and attack skill, yep.
I mean, I don't really see... I guess the resists are nice because if you get down an elemental spam, they might jump onto the elementals, but... I mean, it seems like you would have better luck if these things just killed as fast as they possibly could.
That's what I believe, but we're gonna get to see. We're gonna get to see how this works out.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the fun thing is that we it's all theory crafting, and what's sad is that you're not going to see if my belief is true or not, but Grippa's we're absolutely going to see. So he gets his chance to shine here. Let's look at Pan, because we watched one of his battles during his were either of you there when I interviewed either Kirby or Toolbox?
I don't think I was.
Okay, so if you see what's happening here, he is sending his Hierophant into melee combat. Oh, jeez.
This can happen even with stay behind troops.
I would have put him on hold for 5 turns and then stay behind troops at least.
He's got Magic Pass. All you have to do is tell him to cast spells. He'll sit still forever.
Oh, that too, yeah.
What's he casting at Earth 1? The throw rock?
Stand still?
Oh, yeah.
Just like that he took 12 points of damage in one hit. This could have been a complete disaster if he would have had a little less luck. Oh my goodness. Okay. I want to see the bull in action. Has anybody ever taken this pretender before?
Oh, I've seen it. I can tell you how this goes. Trample, 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 trample. They run.
Nice. Okay, let's see if we're true.
Hell, he's not even casting anything. He's just standing there.
He's just holding.
I enjoy the rain. I mean, is he killing things? I can't even tell. There's so many of them.
It's like he doesn't even kill anything. It just it's just a big beefy thing, you know. It's like any of them. It's like the Earth Mother and the pig, you know. It's all the same strategy with these pretenders.
And he's sleeping. That's kind of a bad sign. I mean, Gaslov, is it hard to kill if he goes to sleep?
Well, that's when he starts to die because you know critical hits cut your protection in half, and that's when you can start taking hits. You can start taking damage.
I mean, he lost a quarter of his hit points, albeit that there were a lot of troops here. Could you send him into a barbarian province, or would that be likely death?
Oh, I think there's high risk. There's high risk with barbarians, but I think he would still come out on top depending on how much Dominion is in there.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I played a game with my wife, and we were told to do an Awake Expander, and I had never done one before, and that went really not as good as I mean, we got a few provinces. It was a scales build anyways on an Awake. It was really weird because we put no points into his paths, and just the constant worry that you're going to get an unlucky hit or something's going to go wrong with your Awake. RCK, how often do you go with Awakes?
Never.
Why is that?
I just don't. It's just I usually like to take Dormant or Imprisoned, and even then my blesses are normally Rainbows or Resistance. Very seldomly will I ever take anything Awake.
And is it that you like I assume that you like the scales and such like that compared to it's not a dislike of the Awake Pretender, right?
That's just something. I just don't do it. It's just kind of my play style. I know. If the more games you play, the more you kind of notice people have their own play styles and things they like to do, different blesses, stuff like that. But I don't know. I've just never really been a fan of Awake expanders. I know how useful they are. They really are nice in the early game, catching those few extra provinces. But I just don't pick them.
Okay, excellent. Well, we've kind of reached.
This kind of goes back to what he was saying in his message. I think it was last turn, right, with his research goals. Because when you have things like regeneration, no longer are lucky hits going to matter because he'll heal that up.
That's true.
If he can get to 30 protection from buffs or the half damage, what is it called, temper flesh?
Temper flesh,
yeah. He's gonna be very solid, and he's gonna be very, very difficult to kill for anybody.
Yeah, I'm hoping that his research goals don't interfere with his national research goals, though.
I don't believe they do, since most of the things he wants to go. Of course, he wants to go down alteration. So his first target being Iron Skin and Temper Flesh is that Alt 3 and 4, I think, and he wants to get the Alt 5 from Mother Oak. And the other thing that he's going to want to get is Personal Regeneration, which is going to be an enchantment too. So it's really not that far away. And because I knew he took Magic 3, and I think I put the game settings on random paths, so he could have already be one or two into one of those already, one of those paths.
Nice. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna put this on pause, and then we're going to come back and watch the rest of this turn when we get back. But before we do that, Gaslov, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
RCK, always a pleasure to have you, dude.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye.